Well, good morning to the world. This time a couple of minutes early from my usual 10 o'clock broadcasting. So I apologize for those that are coming on, expecting me to come on promptly at 10 o'clock. But it is a subject matter that may take longer than normal. It's a rather complex matter, and it is the 13th in this New World Series lecture called Future Digital Cryptocurrency. Okay, so those that have been following me will realize that our collective hosted a AI blockchain conference at the United Nations at the beginning of last year, just before the pandemic shut down. So we were in partnership with one of our, sorry for interruption, someone else is coming on board. Welcome, Monker, to this forum. I know there's a lot of people that are very interested in the subject matter, so I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people dropping in as well. So I apologize for the intermittent interruption. So going back, at the beginning of last year, our collective, through one of our NGOs, Global Empowerment Movement, which was founded by Dr. Queen Itue, and we work with the Gambia UN mission to host a very important forum entitled AI Blockchain to Combat Poverty and Climate Change. And I will link later on in the comment page the UN link, so you can watch that entire forum that we had on that subject matter. So this is related today on the future of the financial market as it relates to cryptocurrency. So it is an extremely involved subject matter that is go far beyond what this mere 30 minutes or maybe even longer conversation can cover. So I don't intend to cover, definitely I will not cover the AI aspects of it, which is extremely important, but that is a subject matter that I'll cover in other discussion. I will cover more on the blockchain aspects of it. Now, I'm not going to go into great techno detail. I have published book on, if you see the title there, Perfect Cryptography. So I do consider myself a techno nerd and a reasonably savvy expert in this domain, but I'm not going to go into the detail. In fact, that is part of the problem of cryptocurrency right now, of acceptance, is because of its complexity and trying to understand it. In fact, I was just sent a WhatsApp message this morning when I woke up from Dr. Kazim Fellows, who's our financial advisor for our collective, especially in affairs relating to his beloved country, Nigeria. And he was very upset because he sent me a notification from the Central Bank of Nigeria, which was announced that they have totally banned the trading and even the referencing of digital cryptocurrency. So as you may know, there are nations that are jumping head into this future world. China, just about roughly a year ago, was the first nation to publicly bring out a nationally available cryptocurrency, which they launch in 4 of their major cities. There are obviously, everyone obviously are aware of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the birth of that's what the blockchain was originally developed to design this cryptocurrency blockchain, Bitcoin. So if you know the market, Bitcoin is going crazy in the market right now. I forgot what I think it's over 35,000 or even more now. So it is skyrocketing. But there are obviously concerns and fears. So entire nation that bans the trading of crypto, which obviously I believe, and Dr. Kazim believe is rather harsh, but there are concerns. Now, I'm not going to go into those concerns, like I said to you, otherwise this is going to be a 10, 11-hour lecture. So I'm just going to cover two major areas that I believe will liberate cryptocurrency so that for the future, and that's why it's part of this New World Series, cryptocurrency will be the monetary fund of choice around the world. So those two areas are the technology side of it, simplistic use and application of crypto, and also in its valuation. Okay, so I'm just going to cover those two main topics. Again, they actually are rather in depth, so I'm just going to briefly skim over these concepts as well. So on this session, we have the founder of Yazcoin, Moncur. They are partners with our collective, and they are developing, part of our mandate is to simplify the technology so it can be used on a day-to-day basis. Now, most people have a cell phone, which most people already use some form of digital money transfer. So, for example, in my beloved country, Singapore, over 10 years ago, you could buy bus tickets, you could transfer, you could buy anything just using just a touch of your phone, of your basically like the equivalent digital wallet on your phone. A lot of people who have smartphone also have a wallet on it. Now, they're not directly linked to cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, but the application of it is similar in the sense that we are using technology to transfer cash. That's essentially what it is. It is a cash transfer digitally. Going a little bit of history, I don't want to bore everyone, but a little bit of history, as you know, humanity started 100,000 years ago bartering cash by bartering products or services. So whether it's a pig for you helping me build my cave or whatever, that was how monetary system started. Then 1,000 years ago, the first token cash came into it. So they minted coins, and typically they minted using precious metal that everyone wanted. So it's silver or gold. So they would transfer a token. So instead of giving a pig for a product or service, you would give now a coin, but it's silver and gold, which was worth the value in exchange for a house or whatever you're trying to buy. Okay, so that went on for 1,000 years. Then they started printing paper money. But now the paper money, you read on it, I promise to pay the repay. But in the past, they will back the paper money. Traditionally, it was with gold. So in principle, you could take a $1 bill in the past and go into a bank, say, I want $1 worth of gold. And the bank was legally forced to give you $1 worth of gold, which in this day is probably like a little small grain of gold. So obviously it was absurd to change a gold, but that at least that paper bill was worth a genuinely $1 value of a commodity, in which case it was gold. So it had meaningful value. Then regrettably, the US in 1971 removed the gold standard from the dollar. And at that time, the US, and still is, was the largest economy in the world. So where the US went, the rest of the world went. So obviously, maybe controversial, but I stated that was the worst time for financial global market, because now the dollar or the paper was basically monopoly money. I mean, maybe it's extreme, but I I consider the world's greatest Ponzi scheme. Okay, for those in the financial market, you know what a Ponzi scheme is, right? Because in a way it is, because you're always relying on someone taking that dollar bill off you and saying, oh, that dollar bill is worth something, so therefore I'll give you a product and a service. But technically speaking, it's just a piece of paper. It had no backing to it. Okay, so we're always relying on the fact that someone will always just take a dollar bill. But obviously there may come a time when someone may say, I no longer want that dollar bill, and then the global financial market will absolutely collapse. Now, not only is the value of the dollar bill is in the mind, the eye of the beholder, but the worst thing is now government, who basically have a centralized banking system, can pretty much print all the money that they want. No, I mean, and those are and the banks say, no, you can't do that, it'll raise inflation, but that's exactly what they're doing, right? So right now, I wrote an article recently, the global debt is at 277 trillion. I repeat, trillion, capital trillion, in debt, of which China owns 6% of that global debt. But now, the whole world, which means the whole citizen, we are now debtors. Every single one of us are debtors to each other. We're basically transferring this monopoly money. If I offend anyone in Wall Street or whatever, so anyway, I'm just saying it what it is. We're transferring this monopoly money around the world from creditors, from debtors, creditors, from debtors, and just basically recirculating it over and over again while the debt just completely escalates out of hand. So how can crypto, this is my publication again, I tout it, how can crypto save this new world, this financial market from completely bursting in a disastrous wake-up call of humanity? Well, obviously those, and again, I'm not going to go into too much technical detail. Those that know of it know exactly the terminology, and I apologize to those that don't know it. But I briefly mentioned banks are centralized. So centralized means they are controlled with each nation. So here in America, the bank is by the Federal Reserve, which actually is not actually controlled by the government. It's actually, believe it or not, a private corporation that controls all our monetary printing money, setting rates, all that is actually privately controlled. Now, whether that's a good thing or bad thing, again, that's another day for discussion. But each nation has their own centralized bank, and each of those mandate how they control the money, how they circulate the money. So we as citizens have absolutely no control on that whatsoever. And as I made the announcement earlier, Dr. Kazim Bello sent me an upset message saying how the Central Bank of Nigeria, obviously mandated by the government, has completely locked down on all the trading and even on the referral. Now, if you refer cryptocurrency, you are now breaking the law. So, you know, they're taking it to a step where you cannot even literally discuss about crypto. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of why they did that, you know, the security of all that, blah, blah, blah. Again, this could end up to a 10, 20 hour debate and discussion. But obviously, there are nations that are concerned, and there are nations that are jumping head into cryptocurrency. So which one is right? Well, by my definition, by this lecture, that I do believe that the world future currency lies in crypto. So you know where I stand on that. It literally does lie in that. But like every new technology, every new invention, there are always going to be teething issues. There are always going to be concerns. And that is up to us, experts like myself and my fellow techno people, Moncur of Yascoin, to develop a technology that is secure, that has value to it, and that can be easily used. Okay, so that is what we are now working on. Now, there are some classified things that we're doing, our collective Yas coins. I'm not going to go into great detail on that. I just signed an agreement with Monker and Burnham, the two founders of Yascoin. But I'm just going to give you a brief overview. So part of our agreement is a partnership, potential partnership with one of the largest, if not the largest credit card firm in the world. So they will use potentially our wallet, which is a wallet is where you store your digital cryptocurrency. So they will use our platform along with others to allow commerce. So wherever you see the credit card sign around the world, which is basically everywhere, you can in principle use that to exchange securely, and that's the word, securely, your cryptocurrency and buy services and products. So we're working with them on that. We're also working with them on one of the world's largest, if not again, the world's largest commerce trader online. Again, I can't go into too much detail on that. So again, we're trying to simplify the technology so that, like your cryptocurrency that you're transferring on your phone, whether through WeChat Pay or through other smart technology, all you have to do is pretty much just touch on a pad and it just does the transaction for you. So right now with the crypto, it is, I told my fellow, it is just way too complicated to both understand and to apply for the day-to-day users. Even for myself, I have a PhD in nuclear physics. I'm not touting that as just ego. I'm just telling you, I found it hard to register my first cryptocurrency. And I said, I'm a techno nerd. So if I find it hard, then hey, you know, it is way, way too hard for the normal day-to-day application. Okay, so we have to simplify the technology to a way that day-to-day use, whether it's from your phone, whether it's from your computer, whether it's from your iWatch, whatever it is. And even for those that still want the paper money, which I'm old-fashioned, I still want my dollar bill, whatever. So just as before, prior 1971, you could go into bank and change your dollar bill for gold. Well, in principle, I believe that we can secure this by allowing an easy transfer of the cryptocurrency for the people that still want their dollar bill or their dollar yen or their euro dollar. They can easily transfer that. So that gives them confidence in using it, in that, you know, yeah, I don't want the crypto now. I want my dollar bill to go and get a haircut. You should allow that. Okay, so that's number one, is that we must make the cryptocurrency much more user friendly, and that comes with education. So those that follow our organization know that Andrea Wen, one of our collective members, have created the One Humanity, One World global social movement. And we are going to be hosting, when the UN opens, a peace and education platform in conjunction this time with the UN Afghan mission. Okay, so education is going to have to play an extremely important role. In fact, our organization are developing a global educational curriculum which will teach not just mathematics, language, but most important, peace, you know, peace to humanity, okay? But part of that education curriculum must include how to create wealth, how to manage wealth, and how to distribute wealth, okay? So that is, education is going to play a very important role, and that is what I'm working on right now with Monker and my fellow techno nerds at Yascoin, to develop an educational platform that will deliver to your normal, everyday Joe and out in the street that can understand the benefits of cryptocurrency and how to apply it. And we have to develop that technology in a very usable, transferable manner. Okay, so that's up to us technologists, up to us experts. We have to do that. We cannot keep telling people, oh, well, you're too dumb to, just, get educated. No, it is complex. We have to simplify that. Okay, we have to simplify that technology. And that's something we are doing. As I mentioned to you, our colleagues are working with the largest credit card company in the world to use our wallet. Similarly, we're using one of the largest online merchant in the world, again, to accept and as you know from last year at the UN, I also made the announcement, well, I didn't make the announcement, the UN General Secretary announced that the UN itself has mandated that they can accept cryptocurrency for their donation funds. Okay, so the UN itself are now accepting cryptocurrency. So that is huge. So we have to take advantage of that, but we cannot say, well, Nigeria is wrong by killing off cryptocurrency. There is no right or wrong. We have to listen to all parties and we have to address it. So Nigeria right now are banning crypto. We have to listen to why they're banning it, and we have to come up with viable solution. We cannot just say, oh, this is wrong. We've got to say, we have to listen to all parties and we have to come up with a super solution. And that's why I'm focusing on those. I believe we conquer those two solutions. We will develop this universal cryptocurrency that will eventually liberate all of humanity. I literally say that. So one is to simplify the technology. The other one, as I mentioned, is to put value to cryptocurrency. As you know, Bitcoin is now skyrocketed. A few years ago, it was worth a few dollars. Now it's $35,000. But in a way, you could call that also a Ponzi scheme, because that relies on people just buying it, but it has no true value. There is no true value to a Bitcoin. So I don't want to sound negative in that, but there's no true value. If someone wakes up every next day and says, no, I don't want Bitcoin, I'll go to some other digital currency. I don't want it, then Bitcoin's going to plunge. Hopefully, like I said, I might say that don't plunge because Bitcoin's going up by itself. But really, we have to give some value. And I said to you, with the paper dollar, I believe it was a dark moment in history when the US took the gold standard from the dollar. I sort of understand why they did that, not in a good way, but I understand why they did that. Again, I'm not going to cover that part of the history, but we need to go to that standard. So in the past, when a dollar was worth a dollar, because it was worth a dollar worth of gold, we also need to make a crypto worth what it is. So if it's crypto, it says it is $1 of this crypto token or 1 Chinese yuan, then we have to allow people to know that that is exactly what it is worth. Okay. So right now, 1 Bitcoin, we say, well, it's 35,000. Wait a minute, it was like $5, so what is the value? Well, what is the link? It is a virtual Ponzi scheme because it's worth what your friend or your neighbor is going to buy it at. Okay. So when I went to Nigeria in 2017, one of my goals was to actually work with the government there and lock in the cryptocurrency to a commodity. So just like the dollar in the past was locked to gold, the success of a crypto, or when I say success, the universal acceptance of crypto, I genuinely believe will come when someone knows that this crypto that they have in their phone, in their computer, is worth something, worth a true value, not just an imaginary, oh, well, the next guy is going to buy at $35,500. So they will go in there knowing that this crypto is worth a certain amount of gold, certain amount of diamond, or in the case when I was in Nigeria, I literally wanted to work with NNPC and use the petroleum crude oil as a currency locked in to the cryptocurrency that we're developing. The world, since the gold standard was terminated in 71, actually there has been a world standard that the world has, and it's called a petrodollar. The reason why the dollar is accepted around the world is not because it's the dollar, but because of petrodollar, because the world runs on crude oil. Now, whether you're an environment, say that's a good thing or not, that's how the world's been running on. So in that sense, there has been a standard on the dollar, and that is it's been locked into the crude oil, because every single drop of crude oil has to be traded in the dollar until recently. Okay, that's another issue that we can talk about. So that is an area that we are also involved in. So as I mentioned to you, our collective with Yascoin are discussing with credit card company. Again, I'm not going to go into detail, and merchant, so that our cryptocurrency has an exchange value. Now, of course, it's up to the credit card and what that exchange value is. Okay, so it has a meaningful value to it that is secure, that is guaranteed. And that is an area that we also, I believe, will have universal acceptance when a wallet of a universal token has a meaningful value. So that it is locked into a value, whether it is to gold, diamond, rice, whatever. So someone in the past, you could go into a bank and get your dollar worth of gold, or similarly, you could go to your bank virtually and get your dollar, your token worth of gold, crude oil, or whatever it is. Okay, so those are the two areas that me and my fellow techno nerd has to get to a point where it can be universally accepted. And that is simplify the technology, so it's much easier for day-to-day commercial use, and we are on that task right now. And also have a meaningful value to a token. So in my personal view, I believe we need to lock that into some sort of standard. So we are lock that into a indirectly, so like to a dollar value, so like a Forex exchange platform. But I believe it would be better if we actually lock it into a real world commodity like in the past. Okay, so those are the two areas that I and my colleagues are intensely working on within ourselves and with other commercial global partners to basically make it happen. Now, of course, there are other issues that people are concerned about. What about the security? You hear people exchange platform being scammed because the code lost or they lost. Yeah, those are absolutely legitimate concern. And maybe those are the concerns of the Central Bank of Nigeria and why they have completely banned all trading of crypto right now in Nigeria. And we must address those issues as well. So, but again, I don't want to spend 10 hours. I already spent half an hour on this already. This is one of my longest New World Series lecture, but it is a very important subject matter because money drives everything. We all know that, right? Now, before I end this, I'd say that obviously I briefly covered the fact that government controls the banks centralized. So those that know blockchain will know that it is a decentralized platform. So it is a peer-to-peer verification. Again, I apologize for using too complicated things, but basically you and I is a peer-to-peer. So every citizen in the world, in principle, can be part of the blockchain. In other words, they can be part of the controlling of the currency. So now the citizen will take control of how the money is to be operated. So imagine that we, every 7.8 billion people right now, imagine if you could all control how the money is to be control money. Now you may say, oh, of course, that could be dangerous because we don't even know what crypto, and it could be, okay? But it frees up we the citizen. So I am a great supporter, as you know, those that follow me, of democracy. I am a great supporter of socialism. Absolutely, I'm very proud. In fact, blockchain, so for those that are anti-socialist, blockchain is the ultimate socialist entity. So whether you like it or not, it is. It is basically, it frees up the world market. It takes it away from, you could argue, from the tyrannical control of centralized bank and frees it up so that all citizens have equal vote to where this global currency is going to go into the future. So again, I'm not going to cover that in depth. That could be another subject matter that we could cover again, okay? But it will liberate humanity. It literally could and will do that. But before it can do that, we, the technologists and those that are on this platform, has to be part of this. And I know Moncur, I'm working him with right now, has to accomplish those two tasks that I mentioned to you. We have to make the technology much simpler to understand and apply, okay? And we must give the token a real value so that people know that it is worth what it claims it is, okay? And we're not just relying on the crazy market to dictate its value. Those that have been following US market know the GameStop issues of the market, all right? Some will say it is let's just say, not a healthy state of how currency should be and our money should be manipulated, okay? Let's put it that way, okay? So I apologize for being rather long-winded, and today I will post this onto our collective YouTube channel. I thank you for all those that come on and listen to this very important aspects of what we need to do collectively to move forward, okay? So crypto is, I repeat, it is the future of the monetary system, okay? So whoever controls this universal global cryptocurrency will control the global financial market, okay? And, you know, so it is that huge a thing, okay? So I always end it with God bless you. So whether I said to you, you're believe it or not, it doesn't matter. We're here to make this a better world. And I believe that cryptocurrency, if used and applied the right way, will benefit all citizens of this world. So I will open up this forum to anyone on this Zoom conference that may want to say anything or have any questions that they want to ask me. Is there anyone on this forum that want to say anything or ask any question? Anyone? Okay. All right. Well, I thank Kazim for notifying me about the situation in his beloved country, Nigeria, which is the #1 country in Africa. So
Sorry to interrupt you. I just raised my hand.
You want to say something?
Yes, I just raised my hand. This is Kazim.
Hello, Kazim.
Hi, good morning, sir. Yes, thank you for the presentation. And you actually drive home the point. Me and you know that we have been, sorry, I can't bring on my video where I am. Sorry about that. I do know that you have done tremendous amount of work working with other stakeholders and interested party in this field of crystal financial markets in the global landscape. Yes, I really wanted to interject and kind of make a brief remark, and you might actually want to react to that. It's kind of a twin remarks and a question. Why we don't know what I sent to you this morning from the Central Bank of Nigeria, I am having an impression that I don't know for a fact, but this is the first major regulatory body around the world that may have come out strongly to place a specific ban on crypto financial market. That to me does not sound well. It doesn't really shows that the monetary authority in Nigeria actually understands what this is all about. The simple thing that you have presented, not to repeat everything that you have said, is that the crypto financial market currencies, the pay system, the crypto invest, and the coins, whichever way you look at it, they have come to stay, and they are the futures. I mean, like Riley said, we nobody knew that at this time of this 21st century, the entire global landscape will turn into a virtual digital system of operating. If you go to New York or major cities around the world, the offices are empty. They are virtually empty. People are working from home. The other day, I visited a regional headquarters of Verizon in Maryland. It was a massive, massive infrastructure spanning over 20,000 acres of land in development. The whole place was empty on a Tuesday morning. And I was asking, what is going on here? They said, everybody's working from home. This is what technology is doing. So if anybody is ignoring the fact that cryptocurrency, we wiped out what we know as our greenback, the naira, or the British pound sterling, the German mark, all those currency will be gone. They will be gone. And they will be replaced, like you rightly said, by more secured, biometric secured and safe digital payment system, what you call virtual debit card. The virtual debit card is all over the place now. And I'm aware that some major central banks around the world have actually created their own design of digital currencies. So I don't know why Nigerian government at this time will take a step back instead of investing in understanding what this is all about. And to know, I don't know, like you rightly said, we can't speculate, but what possibly could you think in your mind will be the repercussion for Nigeria in this instance? I yield there.
Well, that's a very good, excellent point you raised, Dr. Bellows, and you're absolutely right. Nigeria, to my knowledge, is the first and only nation in the world that has legally banned the. I mean, they've gone beyond just banning it. From what I've read from the letter you sent me, they actually made it illegal to even refer about cryptocurrency.
Just after writing his letter to shareholders, and Warren, this is a big deal. It's something that the investment community kind of waits on and sees as a must read, because you spend so much time actually writing this yourself. Yeah, too much. When do you start writing a letter?
Yeah, well, sorry, I seem to, someone else is speaking. I'm just going to mute them for now. So I'm just going to answer Kazim Bellows' question as well as best I can. So yes, you are right, and Nigeria is the first nation to legally ban crypto. And yes, I agree with you. I don't think this is the right approach personally, because they're locking themselves out of the future financial market. The world is plowing forward into this format. So it's like everything. If you shut yourself away from technology, the trains are going to leave the platform, and you're going to be left behind. And you know, as you know, you and I went to Nigeria in 2018, and part of that forum was to talk about working with NNPC, which is the #1 largest corporation in Nigeria, and discussing with them about obviously setting up a healthcare system, developing a crypto platform to manage not only the payment and the checking of everything, but that is, again, I obviously don't want to go into too much detail on that aspect of it, but that's something that we wanted. And actually that ties into a question that Julie Pewitt asked. Actually, she says, the government is increasingly turning to the private sector to help solve development problems. Do you see an opportunity to partner with government to help with development issues and developing the necessary infrastructure to enable the mass adoption of crypto? Well, the simple answer to that, Julie, is yes. It is very, very important that we work with government. But one of the problems, or you want to call it problem, is, as I mentioned to you, the government right now have control of their own national bank, centralized. So the problem that they see and is that crypto will decentralize that, will take the control of the monetary system out of their control. So to me, that is one of the great reasons why a lot of nations, with a few exceptions, like China, Singapore, Thailand, in Malta, are not fearful, but a lot of the nations don't want to lose that control. It's like everything else. When you have in a comfort zone, you don't want to lose that comfort zone, right? But it's like Kodak, example of Kodak, a classic example. Kodak were actually the first company in the world to develop the digital camera, but because they were also the #1 seller of film, of the old-fashioned film, they actually shut down the digital camera technology because they don't want to perceive as hurting the lucrative film business. But as we all know now, digital cameras are everywhere, and that's complete. So now Kodak has now basically gone from a huge corporate entity to just a near bankruptcy. And yet they could have led the entire world if they had just basically took advantage of what they invented, which was digital currency. So that is the danger, is that if you run away or hide, put your head in the sand and be scared of this coming new technology, then you could be like Kodak. You will lose out totally on it. That is the biggest danger, and it is a danger. And those that don't properly adopt the cryptocurrency will be left behind. And that is something that obviously I'll talk to Kazim, and I know he loves his nation greatly, Nigeria, and as I do, because I've been out there a lot of times. I have a lot of good Nigerian friends, and I will, do my best to help develop the educational platform, and with my techno partner as Moncur in the technology field, to put that technology to assure them that this is the future and that it can be handled in a secure manner. And that is obviously what we have to do. We cannot just say, oh, I don't know, ignore them. No, we have to address their concern. Okay, so even though Kazim and I see a lot of other people are probably not in agreement with what the Central Bank of Nigeria is doing now, but we have to address the concern. We cannot just ignore it and say, oh no, that's not the right way to do it. Okay, now to Kazim's second question, why do I feel they're doing that? Again, I'm not on the board meeting, so I'm not 100 privy. So this is just my personal assumption, okay? So I could be way off. So I don't want anyone suing me or saying that, okay? So I do not know what the real reason of why the Central Bank of Nigeria and obviously the government obviously mandates it is basically killing off crypto in Nigeria. But obviously their concern is the security aspects. But I don't think that's the #1 concern. The #1 concern is there is a lot of scam. And again, I'm not just picking on Nigeria. Around, if you see, even on our Facebook, we have people posting from around the world as, yeah, we have this great cryptocurrency, buy into this. Just like this morning, I saw someone posted a crypto saying that, yeah, you put in $100, we will do it to 1,500, blah, blah, blah. It's like, now I'm smart enough and I've been in this business to know that, no offense, but this is total scam, right? Total scam. But regrettably, there's a lot of people that fall for those kinds of silliness. And we only have to see what happened on January the 6th. I mean, seriously, it doesn't know I posted. Okay, there's a lot of people that fall for the QAnon conspiracy. And I call them nutcases because they literally took those conspiracy theory and tried to kill off our democracy. So it's not just a nutcases, they're traitors as far as I'm concerned. Okay, therefore, misinformation, scams that are prevalent basically attack the vulnerable. Okay, so I feel that what the Central Bank of Nigeria is doing, in their heart of heart, I do believe that they're genuinely trying to protect their citizens, but I don't think this is the right approach. Okay, so I feel they are trying to protect the citizens of Nigeria from being caught up in this fever. So, and it's a fever. It's the fever that's driving Bitcoin to over $35,000 for a token. Is it worth $35,000? In my opinion, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that's what people just drive. They follow like sheep. So they see something red, they'll just jump into it without thinking about it. You know, but there are ways of doing it better, I believe. Okay, and again, you know, that's just my personal opinion. So I'm not here to tell Nigeria and the government and the central bank what they should or should not do. Okay, but this is just my personal opinion. But I know there's a lot of people like Kazim that also feel the same as I do. But like I said, it is us to listen to their concern. It's us to develop those solutions. Okay, so we must do that. So like I said, I'm working very, very closely with Monker on the technology field to accomplish and solve all those problems. And I highlighted the two main problems. One is in the ease of use. We need to simplify it. Okay, that includes the security aspects of it, of course. And the other one is to put real value to our tokens. So I'm not going to repeat what I said, but we need to work at that, you know. And once we've done that, and it will happen, it absolutely will happen, then it will liberate humanity to this crypto world. Okay, so I thank you for everyone's questions and comments. This has been a very deep subject, and it's a very deep subject that I've been actively involved in with my fellow partners, etc. This is the future, but we have to deliver the right solution for people in the right way. Okay, so that is our task. Okay, so unless there's any other questions from people or comments, I thank you for everyone. I think there's another question. All right, so no question from Julie again. He said, what are the first steps to addressing nervous government's concern? What would that engagement look like in practice? Well, as I mentioned to you, I don't think governments are nervous by the crypto. They just don't want to lose control of their money. It's that simple. Okay, they control the money right now, and they want to continue controlling the money. So to me, it's not nervousness. To me, personally, my own personal view, it's just downright to greed. Okay, but the way we overcome that is by, like that Kodak we have to show them that if they take the premise of see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, well, like Kodak, that train's going to leave the station, and whoever's left behind in that station, well, they're going to end up poor. And the people that take that train that we are all, the techno people here, including myself, are all working on to develop. If they miss that train, then, like I said to you, they're going to be in a world of hurt, or or they're going to be having to play catch up. So anyway, thank you all for your great comments. I've got a comment here from Monker, my fellow techno nerd that we're working with on the crypto. It says our crypto tokens, which is the Yas coin that we're working with, will enable real estate, digital asset, copyright, patent ownership, tokenization. Yes, it will allow us to do everything that is beyond what I can cover right now. So yes, Monker, absolutely, it is the future. Obviously, you and I know that, and you and I developing that. But again, we need to simplify it. You and I, Monker, we need to work with government, with corporation, with everyone to make sure that the platform is easy to use and also has true value to it. So that is our responsibility. Okay, Monker? All right, that is our responsibility. Okay, we cannot just say to people, we must listen to their concerns, listen to their problems, and we must come up with solutions. That is how we will save humanity, and that is how we will liberate every citizen, so they have control of the universal digital cryptocurrency that is going to enlighten and liberate this world. So thank you very much, everyone. This has been a most fascinating and enjoyable discussion. I apologize if it's drag on to what it normally is, but I think this has been a very, very important issue that we had to cover, and we will continue to cover. And we're not just talking about it. As I mentioned to you, I am working with our fellow partners to ensure that we bring the necessary solution to address all these concerns that have been raised. And as I mentioned, even a complete nation like Nigeria has completely shut it down because of their concern. But we cannot just ignore them. We must provide the solution that they need to put them in a comfort zone, so they can, so everyone, every nation, every citizen can catch this train to the future. Okay? So God bless you all. Okay? Thank you very much. Till next week. Bye.